Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Baseball Today YouTube channel. My name is Navi, and I have another YouTube channel named the Navi Unknown YouTube channel, which you can check out in the YouTube search page. But today, it's all about baseball. Me being a big sports fan, my favorite sport being baseball, and second favorite being football, and this year being baseball. Right now being baseball season. I want to tell you some things about baseball if you want to know. So how this podcast works is I'm gonna say all the latest transactions, all the latest injuries, and all the games that happen this day, and everything that's going to happen later today. We're gonna start with our injuries part and suspensions. Starting off is third baseman Matt Chapman faces a one-game suspension today. Roman Anthony has a oblique strain, which is day-to-day right now, but he's probably going to hit the injury list at some time. Adolis Garcia has a quad injury. He hasn't been in the Rangers lineup the last 3 days, which is really unusual, so it's probably meaning that he is not ready to play yet. Mackenzie Gore on the 15-day IL with shoulder inflammation. Shelby Milner is out for the season with a UCL injury, which might lead to Tommy John surgery. Tyrone Taylor has a hamstring strain that has him on the 10-day IL as this day. The next part of our show is the games that's going to happen today. We'll go in order of the games that's already happened and the games that are going to happen in time zones. The time zone that I'm on and I'm going to be saying is Pacific time zone. So we're going to start off with the games that already happened. With a World Series matchup in 2023, the Texas Rangers and Arizona Diamondbacks faced off, and it led in World Series legend Zach Gallen getting the win and hopefully turning his season around, as he has not pitched Arizona's standard in the way that Arizona wanted him to. And for taking the loss for Texas, Jack Leiter, who has been good this year. The next game was Detroit versus the New York Mets, where Detroit ended up coming out with the victory 6-2. Taking the win is Casey Mize, a former first-round pick who dealt with many injuries before he got back on the field and posted a good season this year. Taking the loss is turned starter Clay Holmes, who was just with the other New York team, now with the Mets this season. The next game is Washington versus Miami, where Washington ended up winning 10-5 with a win from Rutledge and the loss taken by Uri Perez. In the Baltimore-San Diego game, we have Baltimore winning 7-5 with the win for Cave Povich and the loss by trade acquisition Nestor Cortez, acquired from the Brewers. In the next game is the LA Dodgers versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, right now being in the bottom of the second, still scoreless. The next game is Toronto versus Cincinnati, which is the same. Top of the second, scoreless. The next game isn't scoreless and has Cleveland in the advantage against Boston in the bottom of the first inning, with Cleveland winning 1-0. Now we're moving on to all the games that hasn't happened yet, but it's going to later today. The first in that category is happening at 3:35 Pacific time. Remember that I'm saying all these games in Pacific time, and that if you live on the East Coast or in Central Time Zone, that your times will be different. So at 4:35 p.m. Pacific, it's Seattle versus Tampa Bay, with Seattle pitching George Kirby, and Tampa Bay is pitching Adrian Hauser, who has been on a roll lately. At 4:40 p.m. is the Angels versus the Royals with Caden Dana, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, and Casey Bogus. I do not know how to say that name at all. Excuse me if I'm saying it wrong. Next is Atlanta and Chicago at 4:40 also Pacific time, and with Atlanta pitching Bryce Elder, former All-Star, and Chicago pitching Cade Horton, who has pitched great this year. At 4:40 is the Chicago White Sox versus Minnesota Twins, with the White Sox pitching Gomez and the Twins pitching Zebby Matthews. At 4:40 is the Phillies Milwaukee Brewers, with the Phillies pitching Aaron Nola, who's also, like Gallen, trying to figure it out in 25, with Milwaukee pitching Jose Quintana. Changing times to 4:45, 5 minutes later, it's the Athletics versus St. Louis Cardinals, with the Athletics pitching former Ray lefty Jeffrey Springs, and the Cards pitching Matthew Liberatore. I do not know how to say that at all, literally. At 5:10, it's the Yankees Astros, really juicy game, with the Yankees pitching Will Warren and the Astros pitching Alexander. At 5:40, it's the Giants and Colorado Rockies, with the San Francisco Giants pitching Ray and the Colorado Rockies pitching Marquez. That's the end of our show today. Thank you for watching the Baseball Today by Navi and No. See you next time. Goodbye.